Vamos dar continuidade então na história. Esse jogo maravilhoso. Tínhamos parado aí numa missão onde que o doutor estava procurando a causa da contaminação aí da doença, e a gente então tinha achado que era uma Skull, uma Liver Skull. Estava então aí criando outros Skulls contaminados aí. E assim estava espalhando doença aí para as pessoas.
Sweet girl. Like a book. I never could keep anything from her.
Good evening, Doctor.
Do you... Just...
Well...
Goodbye.
Na última live ali eu estava lá na arena do boss já, tentei enfrentar ele, só que como eu estava muito fraco, eu estava no jogo bem menor do que eu deveria, então eu fui upar um pouco. Eu me alimentei ali do personagem. Ainda não estou equiparado ao nível dela, mas para chegar aí eu vou precisar de um atrás de outro. Então eu acho que é uma boa escolha. Eu preciso quase totalmente. Ele está passando chamada ali.
It's locked. I cannot enter. It's locked.
Lively! It's on to us! I are here to step back! Take it where it is! Lord, give us strength!
A ameaça dos ícones. que agora vai? Bora, né?
This is despicable.
Vamos então, é agora.
My blade shall pierce your villainous heart. Touché, sir. Ha ha ha! On guard! Ha. Your hand. I smell your... Behold, Kinslayer, the disgrace of she who was once renowned. Will she be the queen again once they all share her fate? Arise and save your queen, my slaves.
Ih, acho que tomou, hein? Você não deu conta não, hein?
Wait.
É só o papo.
I beg you, wait.
What?
I don't want to die.
And I did not come to kill you, Miss Fletcher.
Will you spare me then? Save this cadaverous carcass of mine. Does your heart beat a little faster now? You fancy me then, Doctor?
No, Miss Fletcher. My dead heart will beat for only one.
Ah! Is she pretty? Is she sweet and tender?
To me, yes.
Ah! I hate her already.
I know. And this is partly why you must be destroyed.
But you just said...
That I did not come here to kill you, yes. But I realize now the threat you embody must be
Agora eu
stopped.
percebo que eu te trolei. Já era, filho. Tá com a vala.
Will I be remembered? Will you?
You were Doris Fletcher. The greatest actress of her generation. No one can take that from you.
Thank you. And farewell. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Farewell, Doris.
Bravo! So dramatic. I love it.
McCullum!
How strange I seem to find you whenever I'm inquiring about that Skal infestation.
I mean you no harm.
I'm not here for you. But once I put all the pieces of the puzzle together, I'm sure we'll have a little chat. You and me.
Stay away from me, McCullum. You and all your war dogs.
That I can't guarantee, Dr. Reed. But I'll let you go. For now.
I should probably leave the theater right now.
Que a gente tá lutando contra a porra da peste, caralho. Talvez. Ou talvez. Enquanto tô tentando tá matando o fiscal, tô lutando contra a peste.
I cannot enter. The West End should be safe now. But London is not. It would be wise to benefit from the Ascalon's protection while I continue my research during the Great Hunt.
Cara, eu não consigo entender isso nesse jogo. Tipo assim, tem uma sociedade de vampiros que são bem mais fortes do que os humanos. E eles têm medo dos humanos, cara. Não tem sentido nenhum, tá ligado? Eles caçam à noite o território dos vampiros e os vampiros estão com medo dos humanos, cara. Não tem sentido isso. Só em jogo mesmo, tá ligado? Não tem sentido.
These people want me dead. I need to leave now.
Sujeira, então. O super já tá. Já tá ativado. Olha, já tem mais um coisa que fez, cara.
So Doris just needed to be close to her audience to infect them. Contagion through skin. Very disturbing.
Seleção não natural. Apoie a casa de Escalon contra a Guerra Prime. Olha, eu também.
Women of all countries unite! Support the equality between men and women! Casa Ascalon. Acho que é isso, então, né? Volta, olha.
Elizabeth, what are you doing here?
I've been formally asked to witness your triumph, my dear. After all, isn't it the natural role of a woman to support her man in victory?
But it's you who insisted I join the Ascalon.
Please forgive my giddiness. I'm just overcome by the thrill of finally being allowed within these hallowed halls.
You certainly have an inquisitive mind. It's quite something. Elizabeth Ashbury, only you can make me smile in these difficult times.
And the same to you, Jonathan Reed. Now go have your little chat with the chairman. I can see he's practically bursting to hear your report.
Lord Redgrave can play with the brave all he wants, but I won't put a foot outside until the Pre-Wen end their hunt.
E com certeza ele está se remoendo todo aí pra saber que a guarda Pre-Wen tá vindo matar todo mundo. Cara, esse sabre aqui parece ser bom, mas o dano dele é muito pequeno. 140. A minha serra tá com 200 de dano. Mas vamos ver o que ela vai ter a oferecer. Vou dar uma morfada nela.
Welcome back to the Ascalon Club, Lance-Bearer. Please, tell us the good news. Have you put an end to the epidemic?
My hypothesis was correct. Doris Fletcher was the source of the contagion in this part of town. She was probably the first to be infected.
And you cleansed her before the hunters, I've been told. Well done, Dr. Reed. You thrust your lance and pierced the very heart of the corruption.
But some questions remain.
The important thing is, we won a major battle for the survival of London. For that, we salute you.
Thank you, my lord.
Now, I have another task for you. One of the utmost importance. Perhaps even more so than the previous.
I'm listening.
It's time for you to perform a most sacred duty for the club. I want you to recruit a new vampire.
Recruit a new vampire? Are you sending me on some sort of diplomatic mission?
Not exactly. I want you to make Aloysius Dawson the Ekon he deserves to be.
Quem que é esse Dawson? Lois Dawson? Ah, do Dawson... Nossa, mano, aquele cara é o cara que queria fazer um muro na cidade. O velho. Aquele velho parece ele é um cara importante e tal, mas... sei lá. Aquele cara quer dividir a cidade do lado pobre e do lado rico, quer fazer um muro.
As you wish, my lord.
Good. Now go.
How would you like me to proceed?
Aloysius is waiting for you at the Dawson estate. Once the deed is done, I'll join you there to celebrate this momentous occasion.
Before I go, I have a few questions.
All right. I'm listening.
Why Aloysius Dawson?
Because he is about to die. And he just may be the most influential man in England. After me, of course.
Did he choose me?
No, I did. My decision is very recent, to say the least, but it is entirely mine.
Does he know I'm coming?
He can't wait to become your progeny, Dr. Reed. Especially now that you have shown how strong your lineage is through your sister.
How would you like me to proceed?
Don't worry. Aloysius has had many years to prepare himself. He has studied our kind for decades.
So shall I just let him drink my blood?
Yes. Aloysius will gratefully sup on your blood. His heart will slow, then stop. But he will rise again as one of us, an immortal.
Is there any danger?
Our blood alters a mortal body so deeply that some don't survive the metamorphosis. They die for good. But Mr. Dawson has been preparing himself for a long time.
You invited Lady Ashbury. Wouldn't that be breaking one of your cardinal rules? No women allowed.
Not allowed as members, no. But considering the circumstances, I thought you'd like to have her here to witness your triumph.
So it's a temporary admittance, then?
Something of a bargain, considering the crisis we're currently facing.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Então vamos lá, né? Transformar o Dawson em vampiro.
Are you all right, Jonathan?
Lord Redgrave has just ordered me to turn Aloysius Dawson, to make him my progeny.
I see. And how do you feel about this?
I'd like your advice on the matter.
The real question here is, why has his lordship given you this task?
Do you think it's some sort of trap?
Do you really want to know what I think about this?
I do, yes.
To make an immortal of a soulless blackguard like Aloysius Dawson will only lead to a disaster for London. The man is already dead inside.
Should I refuse? Perhaps politely suggest that Lord Redgrave turn the man into a vampire himself.
Don't you dare, my dear. According to what I've recently discovered, his lordship could kill you for even broaching the subject.
Really? Why?
I've recently found proof that the Earl of Bristol is of lesser lineage, and only capable of creating skulls.
Please tell me more about your recent investigation.
As long as you lower your voice.
What would happen if I made Dawson an Ekon like myself?
You would add a powerful immortal into a suffering world. An immortal who already craves authority.
Maybe I could teach him control, like you taught me. Lead him down the right path.
Mr. Dawson spent his life searching for a way to cheat death. I'm sure he has spent decades dreaming of how he'd spend eternity as a tyrant.
What would you have me do about Dawson?
The man is dangerous. Did you know he plans to build a wall to separate the healthy rich from the sickly poor? Do not make him your progeny.
What would you do?
The man's dying already. Let the Reaper harvest the rotten fruit that is his soul.
Are you sure your information about Redgrave is correct? He says he's the progeny of the great knight William Marshall, who lived some 9 centuries ago.
That's a lie. Lord Redgrave is unable to create anything but skulls, if the poor souls survive at all.
How can you be sure the information was correct?
I made the acquaintance of a most interesting informer while investigating your maker, from whom I learned the truth about Lord Redgrave.
Why so vindictive? You suddenly sound like you're angry.
Forgive me, Jonathan. I hate myself for it, but I feel such pride in my discovery. I'm afraid I just can't help it.
Which is?
He did serve William Marshall. And yes, the blood he covets as a token does truly belong to that legendary knight. But he was never his progeny. His lineage is not so noble.
Goodbye for now, Elizabeth.
Goodbye, my dear. Please, be careful.
Não vou transformar o cara então. É igual eu mesmo que eu cuidava. Tava querendo transformar ele na mágica. Esse cara não parece ser uma boa pessoa, né? Pra fazer isso não, ele vai acabar de lascar. Eu acho que tá nos planos dele transformar o Dawson em um vampiro com nobre, com o sangue do cara que transformou o doutor. Então ele vai ter influência no dinheiro e ainda vai ter um sangue nobre de vampiro. Ele vai ter influência nos dois pontos. Possível que ele se torne até mais influente do que esse cara aí, o líder da casa. Como ele vai ter um sangue nobre, vai ser bastante forte. E aqui vem um perigo. Porque o cara é maluco. Aí você dá mais poder pra uma pessoa que é doida. Tá merda.
It looks like vampires have to obey Mendel's laws when producing progeny. Powers pass from one generation to another. That's why Dawson wants me to sire him.
Kill you!
It's locked, all right. I should find another way to get into the neighborhood.
It's a leech! Hit it! Shit, that leech is fast!
Kill it! Die, beast!
Local novo aqui que eu parece então. Não explorado aqui.
I cannot enter.
Lugares aqui.
A restaurant where the guests are blindfolded before being seated. Intriguing.
It's one of them! We have to stop it!
Chamarro no chão. Estranho, nada. Um vampiro com ué, ele? Sim. Mostra ao contrário do reflexo, olha. Será que é proposital? Olha de chocolate. Legal, bacana.
Grail. I need someone who can read this. I think this passage could lead me close to Aloysius Dawson's mansion.
Don't you know better?
Nesse jogo nunca é bom. Perguntas do templo. Saudável. Sei mesmo que aqui deve estar tudo saudável.
I can't believe I'm doing this. It's locked, all right.
A violência dos Vulcogs, isso. Morreu, filho, morreu. Não aguentou não. Então mais dois pra cair no pau aí, que não aguentou não. É o segundo já dessa espécie que eu mato. Sacanagem. Não deu nada de espécie. Só pra falar mesmo aqui. Que veio. Carta manchada.
Louise's father was determined to find and save her.
colocar coisa no jogo, mas não sei o que faz. Com certeza essa lista dele, tá? Eu tenho certeza que tem algum segredo embaixo, cara. Ah, porra! Me engano. Cara, isso é muito forte. Mas morreram.
I cannot enter.
Legal, bacana.
I have this thirst for blood. I can't believe I'm doing this.
How long are you gonna keep me locked in here? Let me go, you bastard! How long are you gonna keep me locked in here?
Diário recente. Aí, diário. Deixa eu dar uma pausa aí, não.
Miss Teasdale, are you all right?
How do you know my name? Who are you?
My name is Dr. Reed. I managed to track you down thanks to your father.
So my father really was looking after me. This man, this vampire told me my father was dead. Is it true?
I'm afraid so, miss. I'm so sorry for your loss. But you are free to go, as your abductor is no more.
I suppose my jailer also killed my father, didn't he?
Thankfully, he did not search your father's corpse, where I found his notes describing where he might find you. You should read them.
I must find my father's body. He deserves a proper burial.
Goodbye, Miss Teasdale.
É isso, filho. Vai embora, vai. Eu quero saber como é que você vai sair daqui, mas... Ok. Né? Tem que upar, que eu tô com quase 5.000 já. Acho que a ult pede 2.000. Vou upar o ultimate. Tô passando. Vai sobrar um pouco, sobrar mais uns 1.000. Eu aumento o negócio dos cartuchos, munição. Lá tem a mansão. Vamos até a mansão. Igreja do Templo. 5.380.
Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you again. I hope you can stay a little longer.
Good evening, Miss Price. How are you tonight?
Dr. Reed, I didn't know you had returned from the war. I had a new doctor when you left, but he's not as kind as you.
Always glad to see a former patient in good condition. It's been a long time.
Too long indeed. And as a token of my appreciation, I'll grant you the best price if you fancy buying anything from my humble shop.
Does your daughter still worry you, Miss Price? I remember you were often concerned about her health when she was younger.
Have you not seen Carol since you returned? She's almost a young woman now. But she'll always remain my sweet little baby.
So you're less afraid?
Some things never change. Carol is still too clumsy for her own good. Sometimes her innocence puts her in real danger.
Why would her innocence put her in danger?
She does not realize how cruel life can be. Maybe I was a bad mother to protect her too much. My poor dear Carol.
You have every reason to be cautious, Miss Price. Especially in these difficult times.
Maybe you could talk with her, Dr. Reed. It would be nice to have a man here more often. We would both feel safer.
Ok.
Have you noticed anything in particular in this part of town recently?
Other than you coming back to cheer me up? Nothing at all, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about yourself, Miss Price?
I'm still managing my shop. The only difference is, since the quarantine, we're open at night. You, on the contrary, seem to have changed a lot.
Really? Have I changed that much? It must have been the war. and the night shifts since my return.
Don't get me wrong, Dr. Reed, you're still handsome. Just maybe a little bit wiser, more serious. It suits you well.
Tell me more about yourself. No new fiancé? I remember you were hoping to get remarried. I'm sure you must have a few suitors.
Who would marry an old bat like myself with a grown daughter and a little business? As you know, I only fancy handsome men like yourself.
Do you know Aloysius Dawson?
Everybody knows him. He's only been to my shop once, though, looking for rare books and other intriguing antiques.
Did he buy something from you?
No, he left quickly. He almost laughed at my goods. Mr. Dawson may be a rich man, but you can't buy good manners.
But isn't Aloysius Dawson known for his philanthropy?
That was before his brother Robert died in an aeroplane crash. Since then, the remaining twin has turned into a heartless tycoon.
May I look at...
It's always a pleasure.
Bom.
Dr. Reed, I am glad to see you again.
Good evening, Miss Price. I'm Dr. Reed. Do you remember me?
Dr. Reed? Yes, of course. You are the doctor who healed me and my mum. Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Good to see you too, Carol. Are you all right?
Oh, yes. I did not hurt myself recently. I know how to take care of myself now. I'm almost a grown-up.
Do you enjoy working with your mother?
Oh, yes, Doctor. My mother raised me alone after my father died. We've always lived together, and she has always watched over me.
Dr. Reed, I am glad.
Do you remember your father?
No, I was just a baby then. My mother always told me how strong and good he was.
Do you ever think about getting married, now you're a woman?
Oh no, Dr. Reed. Mum always says I'm still a child who has no idea how tough life can be. No husband would like a clumsy girl like me.
What can you tell me of the people living nearby?
I don't speak to many people, except our customers. It's not easy to make friends. And with the epidemic, it's even more difficult.
Have you no friends at all?
No. Mr. Nithercote used to pass by and was always nice to me.
Does he not come by anymore?
No. Mum said he was weird. Always reciting poetry about a girl he'd met in Whitechapel. I wonder who this camellia may be.
What can you tell me about the epidemic?
Some of our regular customers have left London. Some others only send their housemaids now. Everybody fears the contagion. I've even seen men with weapons.
Why are you awake at night, Carol?
I am helping my mother in her shop. It's not easy, but I'm a grown-up now.
I'm sure your mother is grateful for your help.
I do the best I can. But I'm so clumsy sometimes. I drop things. I injure myself. It's a good thing my mother has the patience of an angel.
Why is work not easy? Is something or someone bothering you?
Oh no, most people are gentle with me. But I'm so nervous sometimes. I pay no attention and hurt myself. Good thing my mum learned first aid.
Do you need my medical attention?
No, I'm all right, Mr. Reed. Well, I think I am.
Have you ever met the famous Aloysius Dawson?
Yes. A very strange man. Not very nice.
What do you mean?
He said he was ready to pay good money for rare books, and then laughed at what we showed him.
Goodbye.
I am sorry, I can't help.
Tô carregando por quê, jogo louco? Oxi. Maluquice é essa?
Good evening, Miss Price.
You know you can call me Carolyn, my dear doctor.
Carol's gratitude is exemplary. She seems determined never to leave you.
I'm taking care of my daughter as well as I can. It's not always easy, but she's the best gift life gave me.
But she'll probably leave you someday to live her own life. Will that be difficult for you?
Why would she leave? Children sometimes stay with their parents until the end, for they know no one else will love them as much.
Goodbye for now, Miss Price.
I hope you can stay a little longer this time.
This is no place for you. You're mad!
Good evening, sir. May I ask you what you're doing here at this late hour?
I'm conducting an investigation about the epidemic in this part of town.
And who are you, sir?
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. May I ask who you are, and why all the questions?
I'm Detective Inspector Charles Albright from Scotland Yard. And I don't find your answers convincing. What is a Pembroke doctor doing in the West End at this time of night?
I work for the Ascalon Club. Here is my permit to go freely about the city.
The Ascalon Club? You should have said so, sir. I must warn you, these streets are dangerous, and you'd better be careful.
What are you investigating, exactly?
I have a missing woman, possibly abducted a few nights ago. Louise Teasdale. It seems you already found my other missing person, Mr. Tadao Kimura.
Tell me about Louise Teasdale.
She's awaiting...
Do you have any...
No. But I've...
What are you really doing here?
I told you. I'm a detective inspector from Scotland Yard, investigating suspicious cases in the area.
What about the situation in the East End? Why are there no police there to protect the civilians?
I know, it's a shame, but we just don't have enough men to cover the entire city.
Do you work alone?
Yes. The situation is difficult for the police. Many of us are sick, and since the summer strike, Most men apply a work to rule on their patrols.
What can you tell me about this district?
I'm the one asking questions, especially when there's a killer on the loose.
What killer?
I'm not going to discuss that with a civilian, sir.
Haven't I told you about the investigation I'm conducting? Perhaps I could help you.
All right, without giving you too much information, I'll tell you this. I'm convinced there is a homicidal maniac on the loose, using the epidemic to disguise his kills.
And what about the epidemic?
We both know the situation is critical, don't we, Doctor? Colleagues of mine die almost every day.
Why are you investigating at night?
Criminals rarely act in daylight, you know. But since you are also a night worker, have you noticed anything strange which requires police attention?
Esse que é o Macala. Acho que é o amigo dele, velho. Quando ele não se chama amigo, velho. Ou não, Macala não.
No, I've no...
All right.
Do you know anything in particular about a man called Aloysius Dawson?
Who doesn't know the man?
What else?
Aloysius Dawson is exactly the kind of powerful and influential...
What are you... Tell me...
She's awake.
Do you have...
No. Goodbye.
Esse é o Russell ou Macala? Crime do conhecimento perdido. Falando sobre Vampyr.
It's locked.
Jonathan Reed. At last we meet. The cards warned me you would visit tonight.
I beg your pardon, sir. Do I know you?
Of course you do. Our mutual friend, Dr. Swansea, can't speak highly enough of you. My name is Usher. Usher Talltree.
You are the leader of the Brotherhood, are you not?
Primate of the Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole, to be precise. I'm really glad we met tonight. I love it when the cards tell me a truth.
The cards told you to expect me.
Yes, they tell me everything. They told me that you struggle hard not to take too many lives.
How do you measure the amount of blood on my hands?
I told you. The cards always tell the truth. Well, most of the time.
Is it possible to tell me my future?
A vampire's fate is much more delicate to read, Doctor. But I can try.
All right. Let me hear it.
The walls of your prison have already been raised, Jonathan. But you will freely accept to be locked inside, full of hope for a better day.
May I ask you about the Brotherhood?
Of course. But I must warn you that there are some subjects we consider taboo, in spite of our fondness and acceptance of your kind.
Who founded the Brotherhood?
That's precisely the kind of question I cannot answer. It is delicate, and may reveal some of our secret traditions.
So you're not just a club of academics and scholars?
Once upon a time, very long ago, the Brotherhood did more than simply study the vampires. They took actions to eliminate the more ferocious and corrupted.
I know there is no love lost between the Guard of Priwen and the Brotherhood. What caused this rift?
It was 1801. The Brotherhood was stronger then, a strength that made them hungry for ever greater power. An argument divided them, and the wound never healed.
What was the nature of the disagreement?
The problem was that both sides considered themselves the legitimate heirs of the original Brotherhood. We divide up the books, the relics, not always fairly or with consideration.
Tell me about yourself. What do you do here, besides turning cards in the middle of the night?
I'm for most a charlatan. For a few, I'm a vampire. And for you, I'm the primate of St. Paul's Stole.
Some believe you to be a vampire. Who?
The Guard of Priwen, who else? For a time, they sent spies to observe my activities, and they even broke into my home to gather proof.
Did they steal anything from you?
A personal notebook they quickly took to their headquarters. All they had to do is to look at me. I'm aging. What better and definite proof that I'm not an immortal?
Do you want your notebook back?
If you ever find it, I'd be glad to have it back, of course. I do ask one thing, though. Do not read it, Jonathan. Some secrets are not meant to be revealed, even to immortals.
For how long have you been a primate?
It was 15 years last year.
What do you make of Dr. Swansea?
Edgar is a brilliant and dedicated man. A man of his time. Sometimes a little muddled, but always looking for new paths and new concepts.
What can you tell me about the neighborhood?
I really don't know.
So you...
Oh,
Do the cards speak of my Mary?
No. It's the burning aura of guilt that precedes you every...
Read my fortune.
You have been chosen, Jonathan. I see on you the mark of a strong being, so powerful it needn't even reveal its strength.
Can you read the cards for me?
Are you sure you want to know what they will be?
Yes, I am.
It will cost you 150.
Here,
the alchemist. A wise and cunning mind who lives by lying to all but himself. He sells false promises and is proud of it.
Can you read the cards?
But the money...
Here.
The chip...
Ah, eu pago e ele dá informações.
Is there
sobre
anything you
os
could tell me
caralhos
about
que
Aloysius
tem.
Dawson?
Aloysius Dawson. Yes, of course. We met on several...
He's not the only one. It's been quite the fashion for several...
True. Aloysius was a member of the Golden Dawn until 19...
Goodbye, sir.
I rarely wander. Perhaps London will survive the epidemic, but I see terrible trials awaiting in the future.
It's locked.
We should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go? Anywhere. Anywhere that isn't here. And what is that, by the way? A safer place? A less strange place? And where would that be? Life is strange. And we are alive. For now, yes. But for how long? If we decided to flee, we should be far from town already. All right. But where would we go?
cheguei a ver pelo menos 28 episódios.
Good evening, sir. I am Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Yes, please. Would you be
That's all you need to know.
Well, is it not important to know?
I suppose you're right.
I am Agamemnon Baker. Like my brother, I think we need to leave this...
What are you really afraid of, Agamemnon?
The problem is, it's precisely what I don't know that frightens me. So I suppose I can't really answer your question.
Então, você tem medo de desconhecido então, meu querido.
What can you tell me about this part of town?
It's the only place I've considered myself happy.
Why is that?
Because I'm not feeling happy here anymore. Are you?
What kind of question is that? What am I supposed to answer, exactly?
The truth. And I believe you just did it, actually.
What can you tell me about your brother?
He's older than me, I think. But the important thing is that I really hope I'll die before him. Grief would just kill me, you know?
Is that all?
Pericles is very attached to this city, and without my insistence, he would never leave this place. We don't often agree on anything.
May I ask what you're doing outside at this hour of night?
I don't know. You should ask my brother instead.
You must have your own idea.
From what I have managed to understand, I guess we're supposed to wait here. Waiting for someone to come.
May I ask why you've not gone already, if you're so exasperated by this long wait?
I believe fear is holding us back.
What can you tell me about Aloysius Dawson?
You should ask that question to my brother instead. Percy.
Good evening, sir.
Dr. Reed?
Is there anything wrong?
No, it's just... your name sounds familiar.
I think I would remember.
That's odd. I'm certain I've already heard of you. My name is...
I'm afraid not, sir. But it's a pleasure to meet you anyway.
The pleasure is mine, I guess.
Who are you waiting for? I'm sure he has a name.
I really can't answer that question, since I don't know that person.
And why is that?
This person is mostly my brother's acquaintance. I don't even know his real name. Only that this man could help us leave this city once and for all.
But why would you need this person's help to leave London anyway?
Well, I thought we should have left this cursed place already, but my brother convinced me to stay a while longer, and here we are.
Ué, mas um fica jogando pro outro? Como
Tell me more about your strange feelings towards the city.
I would be happy to describe them, but it's too hard to explain with mere words what I'm feeling.
caras são muito suspeitos.
It's unclear, too confused.
Go on, please.
Where should I start? The world is...
This is not the first time mankind has faced...
Men kill each other, while nature decides to kill them all.
Plagues and epidemics can be seen as an implacable force, a curse even. But the ferocity of mankind worries me more, for we choose what we do.
Yes, at least nature is not aware of all.
And what do you do, sir?
I stopped working when I decided to leave.
But what were you doing before you took...
Does it really matter anymore? Considering the past seems so...
Tell me more about why you want to leave London, then.
I just... don't belong here anymore. I had to convince my brother to leave London because I know we need to find another life.
Pericles, tell me why your brother disagrees with your presence here.
Agamemnon is naive sometimes. Although don't consider him a fool, sir. He is often more
At least you both have the same difficulty explaining what you're doing, and for what reason.
But is that not a common problem for all mortals?
What can you tell me about your brother?
If you are searching for a pleasant chat, you should speak with him instead.
That's it? That's all you can tell me?
For the time being, true kindness is the most valuable...
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Baker.
We are waiting. Waiting.
And why are you waiting for this person?
Because we need to leave this city. As soon...
Why do you want to leave the city?
I'm not really sure.
Can you tell me anything about this district?
As you like asking questions so much, would you allow me to ask you one first?
Please, be my guest.
Do you like this city?
I know we are not living in the most peaceful...
Yes, me too. This city tests us.
But what if we don't like what we find?
Do we ever know who we are? I wonder...
What can you tell me about...
I've heard this is a man who has searched for his place in the world.
Goodbye, Mr.
Doctor?
What
well,
I was...
Why do
I don't think... Tell me all you know about that homicidal...
I'm not even sure there is only one. The wounds are always the same, but the modus operandi varies. Sometimes violent and brutal.
How could different killers inflict the same...
That's my main problem.
What are you investigating?
Well,
I was lucky...
Why do I...
I don't think so. You had... Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Vou matar os dois. Vocês que são os assassinos.
Good evening.
So in the end, was it you we were waiting for? Death was our destination.
Hello again.
Who are you?
The more I think about it, the more I believe it.
But what else could it be?
I don't know.
I'm afraid I'm not following you. What kind of trap are you talking about?
Have you ever felt like life trapped you in a role that does not fit?
Trap?
At least it will give us the chance to be free. That's...
If you finally manage to leave London...
A happy place, that's for sure.
Such a place doesn't exist.
That would mean I have no hope left.
Tell me, how long
I can't say for sure, since I have no what.
Is that the most honest?
Yes, I think so. Why does it irritate me?
I'm a scientist. I try my best.
You know? Or you...
I know one thing. I do...
And it's better that way. What kind of life would...
Vai virar comida também. Mano, se esses caras não forem o serial killer, eu vou ficar muito chateado. Mas eu tenho 90% de certeza que esses caras são os serial killers. Tá matando o pessoal aqui. Cara, é muito estranho isso. Dois irmãos querendo sair fugindo da cidade. Um é mais impossível que o outro. Aí você vai ver a investigação. É realmente isso que eu falo na investigação. Que são dois assassinos, pelo que parece. E eles têm objetivos distintos. Assim, as pesquisas são as mesmas do assassinato, mas o modo deles é mais agressivo que o outro. É bem
This makes no sense. No sense at all. I should have told my brother to go sooner.
Se eles foram assassinos, acabou. Agora se eles não forem... Ah, eles estão aqui. Mas eu acho que eles estão. Vou upar aqui mais uns níveis. Eu tô com 8.000. Vou upar mais um da lança. Vou botar o vigor no máximo também. Já como. Dois, quatro. É isso mesmo. Agora sim. Vida e vigor no máximo. mais dois aqui também que poderiam ser eles, os assassinos. Não é nada a ver, não, porque eu mato dois também. Passar o cerol aqui.
The Spanish flu is not the only hidden killer around here. Dr. Reed.
Do you need...
I'm afraid...
You...
Thank you.
What are you inventing?
Well...
I was lucky enough to...
Why do I still have the feeling that you're...
I don't think so. You had better interview Miss Teasdale and Mr. Kim. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
This is my territory! Gotcha! Stupid newborn!
Estranho, cara. Ele tá mandando eu ir na mansão do cara. Descobrir um novo esconderijo. Perdão. Aonde seria a mansão desse cara? Dele fica aqui. Tá aqui a mansão dele. Um pouco, não aparece pra mim. Poder ir até a mansão dele, eu vou precisar de entrar ali. Impossível que eu vou ter que entrar aqui. Entendendo muito bem não, mas tá mandando pelo menos o símbolo tá aí. Tentando entender, mas é estranho. Onde que tá a casa desse cara? Meu Deus. Aí eu saio aqui. Isso que eu não tô entendendo. Sai aqui na igreja do templo, beleza. Ok. Mas e a mansão do cara? Onde diabos que eu tenho que ir pra poder entrar na mansão desse cara? Achar essa mansão. O jogo fala que tá ali, mas não tem nada ali. Lá entender. Meu pavotinho. É, eu simplesmente não sei onde que é essa casa.
There has been a fight here. I can see a blood trail. Left by one of the antagonists, perhaps?
É, eu simplesmente não sei onde que é essa mansão. Para por aqui então, galera. A próxima live aí eu continuo. Que eu não tô conseguindo achar essa mansão. Eu procurei aqui no mapa ali onde tá mostrando que é aqui, ó. Tem mansão ali aqui. E do outro lado a gente não consegue. Do outro lado desse mapa aqui, ali no caso, lá nessa rua, tem como eu ir lá. Aqui nessa parte. Eu creio realmente que é essa casa aqui, ó. É essa casa. Deixa eu olhar aqui. Pode ser que tenha como eu ir seguir, só que por cima. Por essa parte aqui, ó. E aqui.
Watch out! Filthy! See that crazy car? This isn't tough! Christ, it's dead! Back in the grave!
Travou. Mas fica assim então, galera. Vou dar uma pesquisada, uma olhada para ver aonde fica essa mansão e volto para completar a live, ok? Muito obrigado aí por acompanhar. Fui.